sounds that they make. Spend some time each week training and practicing your pronunciation with that person. There are just so many different resources available to you online in the accent that you want to practice, right? Videos, songs, lessons. Just focus on the sounds that you need to hear. And just to be clear, this tip, this one here, is specifically for sounding better in English, for improving your pronunciation. Listening to a mix of accents is an absolute must. You can't just listen to one person or one teacher and then expect to go out in the world and understand everyone, right? I hope that's clear. For pronunciation practice, focus on the accent that you want to create for yourself. But for all other English skills, make sure you use a range of different teachers and different accents and different videos and resources. All right, let's keep going with the lesson. Tip number 2 is vowel sounds. Now, correct vowel pronunciation is really important in English. Saying the wrong sound can completely change the meaning of the word. Can you pronounce this word? That was a trick question. Actually, it's kind of impossible because you really need to have a vowel sound in there, otherwise it can't get pronounced. All right, let's try it now. So how would you pronounce this word? Would you say heart? Or would you say hot? It's just one tiny little vowel, isn't it? But the two accents pronounce it slightly differently. And if you use a different vowel sound altogether, maybe you make a mistake, it could come out sounding like hat, or hut, or hit, or heart, or hurt, hate. Vowels are torturous in English pronunciation, aren't they? But there's nothing that you can do about it. Put your frustration to the side, push it over there, and focus on the training that you need to do to make the right sounds in your speech. So when you're listening to someone speaking English, pay close attention, really close attention to the vowel sounds. In fact, slow down this video if you need to focus on some of the sounds that I'm making. Did you know that you can do that? Just click the settings icon below and click the speed and reduce it. Then try to imitate or copy me or whoever you're listening to. That's one of the best ways to check and improve your vowel pronunciation. If you've practiced with my imitation lessons before, well, you already know how simple it is to practice your pronunciation at home. Improving your vowels is a huge step towards sounding better in English. Tip number 3, the schwa.
Bless you.
No, I wasn't sneezing. The schwa is the name for the most common vowel sound in the English language. That's the schwa. The schwa is the laziest sound. And it shows up everywhere in English. It even shows up in words that don't even have a vowel, and still there's the schwa sound there. And English speakers tend to get very lazy when we speak. We reduce our sounds down, and so our sentences fill up with this lazy sound. Take a look at this sentence. Now, if you look up each of these words in a dictionary, well then you'll see that they should be pronounced like this. Do you want a cup of water? But you're more likely to hear a native English speaker say something like, do you want a cup of water? Do you want a cup of water? Now, notice how this sentence is suddenly full of schwa sounds when it's spoken at natural speed. Like I said, the schwa pops up everywhere. Now, if you've never heard of the schwa before, If you're not sure what reduced forms are and other things I've been talking about, don't worry. This video right here will explain everything that you need to know about this important and very common English sound. Okay, so there's 2 more tips to keep going with, right? To improve your pronunciation. Number 4, syllable stress. Now, stress is really important in English. I'm not talking about stress that you feel before a big exam, when you can't sleep and you get really nervous. I'm talking about how some syllables in English are stronger than others. And that means you pronounce one syllable more clearly, in a louder, in a stronger way, with a higher pitch. Okay? And this can be quite challenging if your native language doesn't have any stress. You're not used to it, right? Some languages have very simple rules about where and when to stress a syllable, right? It's so easy in Spanish. You probably already know that English is not a flat language, right? There's rises and falls and rhythm in the way that we speak. And stress can actually change the meaning of a sentence. So how do you know which syllable to stress? Learning to recognize stress in the phonemic script is a really good place to start. So every time you look up a word, you'll see this stress symbol before the syllable that's stressed. And it will signal, it will tell you which syllable needs to be stronger, louder, and higher in pitch. Accept, photography, television. Now, if you want to learn more about syllable stress in words, then check out this lesson right here. And guess what? Again, imitating native speakers is a really great way to practice the correct syllable stress in a word. And practicing the correct accent is important here because sometimes syllable stress between accents changes a little. So you really want to make sure that you are speaking with the accent that you want to use. Number 5, the last one, linking sounds. Have you ever heard a native English speaker say, "Hello, what are you doing later?" Probably not. That'd be nice because it's very easy to understand, but not realistic. And if you're trying to sound more fluent and more natural in English, then you really should try to avoid that type of speech as well. You need to learn how to link words together in English, and there are some simple rules to help you do that. You just need to learn which words can link together and which linking sounds are commonly used in English. Let me show you some examples. He has an apple. He has an apple. Now, can you hear how all of those words link together? That's the linking that I'm talking about. I didn't do it. Do it. Do it. This is an extra linking sound, one that we've added to help those words roll out of our mouths really easily. My next lesson here on the English channel will help you with this. I'll take you on an adventure to learn more about the linking sounds in English. Just make sure that you're a subscriber so that you know when that lesson comes out. Practicing linking sounds is actually really simple once you know the rules. You can practice just simply by reading out loud. You can look for the clues that will help you to link words together. And you'll make that a habit. It will become easier and easier each time you do it. Whoop, whoop. That's right, you're done. You've got through the 5 tips that I have for you today. Now, I just want to review them quickly with you so that you keep them top of mind when you're practicing your pronunciation and you are sounding awesome when you're using English. So say them with me. Choose your accent. Practice vowel sounds in particular. Really understand the schwa and how it's used. Use syllable stress correctly. And learn a little more about linking sounds. You got it! Incorporate those 5 tips into your pronunciation practice, and I know you're going to start sounding more natural when you use English. Now, Don't forget that next week's lesson is going to focus on linking sounds, so make sure you come back and join me next week, same time, same place. I really hope this lesson was useful for you, and if you have any questions or ideas or suggestions, pop them in the comments below. Now let's go practice linking sounds and natural English pronunciation right here in my Can You Say It series, or we can also practice together in this imitation lesson right here. See you in there.